Okay. Welcome everyone to this evening's webinar. We are so excited to have you here. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat and also share where you're joining from, as well as if you're a student or a working professional or your goals for this webinar. We are so excited to welcome you. We'll give everyone a few moments to join. We have a large audience here tonight. So as I said again, my name is MK Comer. I am a WWCode Fellow, here to welcome you all for this evening's webinar. And here I have Nikita here with me. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat and be sure to select panelists and all attendees when you introduce yourself in the chat. Feel free to introduce where you're joining us from. And oh, my voice is breaking off a little bit. Let me drop my headphones. Maybe those are the issues. 1 second.
Can everyone hear me better now? Is that better? All right, sorry about that. Welcome everyone. My name is MK Comer. I'm a Women Who Code Leadership Fellow. I'm so excited to welcome you here tonight. I have Nikita here. She is joining us for our webinar. Welcome Nikita, and welcome everyone attending. Hoping you can hear me better. As you join, please introduce yourself in the chat and share where you're joining us from. I am in New York City right now. It is pouring rain. It has been a gross Sunday, so I'm so excited for this webinar. And as well as welcoming yourself and saying hello and where you're joining us from, we'd also love to hear about what you're here to learn in this webinar. Are you a student? Are you a young professional? What are your goals for this webinar? Nikita is so excited to meet you all and would love to understand your goals for being here this evening. We will give everyone a couple minutes to join. We have a large audience joining tonight, and we'll get started in just a few minutes. We have Amanda here, who's career pivoting from St. Louis. Welcome, Amanda. And all of the chats are coming in. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here this evening. And happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there as well. Sounds great. So again, if you just joined in the last couple minutes, a couple of our numbers just jumped back up. Please introduce yourself, where you're joining us from. I know it's always exciting when we kick off these webinars to see how big of a presence we have at Women Who Code and how everyone's joining from everywhere else. And Nikita also would love to know if you're a student, if you're looking to pivot into the tech world, what's your goal for this webinar? We really want to be here for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and give a warm Women Who Code introduction, whether or not this is your first webinar or you've been on so many different webinars with us. We definitely want to give you an understanding of what we are about at Women Who Code and why we're here tonight. My name is MK Comer. I am a Women Who Code Leadership Fellow. My goal as a front-end track lead is to bring great webinars and content for all of you to learn from. So thank you for joining tonight. All of our webinars would not be the same with our incredible attendees and all of their engagement and questions. So we welcome all of the questions here tonight. And I am the most excited to introduce to you Nikita Gupta tonight. She's the founder of FAANGPath. I will go into her bio before we kick off the webinar. But in this workshop, we hope to debunk most common myths about resume building, learn about the resume shortlisting process, learn more about how FAANGPath can maybe support you on that journey. Ultimately, we're here to learn about how to get a job in 2021. We all know the last year has been so crazy in terms of remote work, and that's definitely changed the demographic and the process for moving into the resume as well as getting a new job. So thank you, Nikita, for being here tonight. As I said, if you just joined in the last couple minutes, feel free to introduce yourself via the chat. We will do Q&A at the end. You're also more than welcome to ask questions throughout. Nikita is happy to guide Q&A throughout if the questions are relevant as we're talking, or we'll answer them at the end. Don't worry, we'll get your questions answered. And from a Women Who Code perspective, we are recording and we will post this to YouTube. Generally about 3 to 5 days after the event, we get it on our YouTube channel, and I will provide the link to that as well. So if you want to rewatch it, if you missed any pieces, or if you want to share it with any friends, we will have it up on our YouTube, which is so great to continue to learn and teach others as we go along here. That being said, if this is your first webinar to Women Who Code, welcome. So excited to welcome you. Our mission is to inspire women to excel in technology careers. We envision a world where women are represented as tech executives, founders, VC, board members, software engineers, you name it. We welcome it and we envision it. Additionally, oh, it looks like it froze. All right, our movement, especially this year, and as we continue forward, is as the world has changed, we are going to be a connecting force for you all and create that sense of belonging. I know this year has been incredibly isolating. I came onto Women Who Code about a year ago, and it's provided such strength and community at a time where I've been so disconnected from so many people in my life. So we hope we've been that force for you, and we hope to continue to be that force for you as the world continues to change and evolve. That being said, Christmas or end of this year, 2021, we walked in with 250,000 members. We've hit an all-time high of attendees from all over the world. In many ways, as challenging as COVID has been, it's also been a great resource for people to get on digitally and engage in this digital community. We have 70 networks in 20 different countries. And we've members in 120 different countries joining webinars like this. And we put over 2,000 events annually. This would count as one of the events. We do webinars across all of our digital tracks, as well as some of our actually in-person networks have all migrated to online. And when conferences are back to being a thing, we also offer daily conference tickets and scholarships to different conferences. Ultimately, we are here to provide access to jobs and resources and infinite connections for you all to network and learn from each other. That being said, I mentioned our different tracks. We are here tonight with Women Who Code front end specifically. That's the track that I help support. We have other Women Who Code fellows that support data science, mobile, blockchain, Python, and cloud. All of these tracks are designed to provide tech talks, workshops, tutorials, study groups, you name it, based on each different track. So, if you're interested in front end, but you've also been curious about data science or where mobile and front end kind of, integrate or have some crossover there, go ahead and look at these digital tracks, womenwhocode.com/digital. There are so many more other webinars out there in addition to this webinar tonight, and access as well to networking opportunities and coding resources and project support, you name it. We have lots of different digital tracks that have continued to grow throughout COVID. Also, if you're looking to get involved, highly encourage getting involved. Part of my job is to also run our volunteer team, which is made up of like 10, 12 different volunteers from all over the world who get together and put on different events, come up with different ideas, and also reach back to our networks to find different attendees or webinars for each of our webinars. And you can reach out to me directly at mkcomer@womenwhocode.com. Or if you're interested in volunteering for another track, highly encourage that as well. And you can reach out to any of those tracks. Or if you're just curious in general about Women Who Code, you can reach out to our fellows at womenwhocode.com. And finally, we do sponsorships and we do partnerships with different companies. So if your company is interested in posting on our job board, or if you're interested in accessing different Women Who Code resources or putting on a webinar to partner with us, highly encourage you to reach out to our partnerships team at womenwhocode.com. We also put on a lot of fun webinars. That being said, we do have an exciting events coming up in 2021. More specifically, the next couple of weeks I wanted to highlight. There is an event on Tuesday morning for code reviews, code quality, and developer productivity. I will actually be paneling on it, so I'm so excited. So feel free to join and you'll see me there. Additionally, one of our lead volunteers does a front end Friday Slack study group focused on all different topics. So this 2 Fridays from now, she's focusing on quality and DevOps, and Friday the 21st, she's focusing on computer science fundamentals surrounding front end. And we also have an exciting event, Google UX designers coming in to talk about the case of design portfolio next Sunday. So feel free to join us. Again, those are womenwhocode.com/frontend. All of those events are listed there. Feel free to register for an upcoming event. And finally, I also wanted to put in a plug. We're having our global conference on June 10th and 11th called Connect Reimagine. Feel free to attend. There are scholarship opportunities for tickets, but ultimately we hope that when you join, we're advancing your technical skills, we're working on your career refresh, and that you can join our global community. So be on the lookout for that. You can literally just Google Women Who Code Connect Reimagine. This is our 10th year, and we're so excited to bring an online conference to serve the entire world. It's 72 hours of Women Who Code events. So that is my Women Who Code plug. So excited to be here with you all. And last but not least, the most exciting part of the night, we welcome Nikita. Nikita is the founder of FAANGPath, and she is excited tonight to share a workshop to debunk the most common myths about resume building, learn about resume shortlisting, and as well as learn how her company might be able to support you through this process. So welcome, Nikita. Thank you so much for being here. And with that, I will give you the floor.
Yep. Thanks a lot for the kind introduction, and thanks a lot for sharing everything in detail. Hi everyone, I'm very excited. And thanks a lot for, I was reading through the chat, everyone has written in like from where they're joining, what they are looking for. So kind of very excited to kind of share everything in terms of definitely how FAANGPath can help you, but also to kind of make sure that everyone knows about what exactly should be seen in the resume. I started FAANGPath last year, and since then I've helped like 500 plus candidates in many different ways. So I am here today to kind of help and provide guidance and also support in whatever way I can. So if you want, I can put the my LinkedIn link also in the chat so that anyone can reach out to me later also. But having said that, I can share my screen and we can kickstart this session. So please do let me know like once you start seeing the screen. Can you see the screen so that?
I can, yes.
Yep. Okay, got it. Let me present it so that, perfect. Yeah. Okay. So we are like today having this collaboration between FAANGPath and Women in Who Code. And the reason why I'm here, like as like Mary mentioned, that I want to kind of share with everyone like what are the things should be there in your resume, in your profile, and also in your LinkedIn, to just make sure that you get calls from all the companies. Like definitely the name of the my startup is FAANGPath. So the focus is FAANG plus companies, but why we have taken FAANGPath is because we want your resume and profile to reach to that level that if you're getting call from any of these FAANG plus companies, definitely you can get call from any other company. So the target of today's workshop is to make sure that your profile can get call from n number of companies, whatever you are targeting. To start with, one second. Yep, how to get a job in 2021. So hi, hello, and welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining us today to learn and understand how you build like the best version of your resume. I would like to thank Mary for giving me this opportunity to guide the job seekers in the right path to get their dream job. Today in this webinar, you will be heard what comes in between your resume and the interview call at the companies you desire, how you can avail all the excellent guidance and feedback to build that impressive resume. Please stay tuned till the end of the presentation for the like for to kind of hear if you have any Q&A, so that if you want to kind of get more insights or want to ask anything, I'm more than happy to answer that. Moving on, we like overview is basically introduction all about resumes. I will be sharing some success stories of the FAANGPath which we have gotten, and also how FAANGPath can help you, and definitely then you can ask your questions. So starting with the introduction about who are the founders, everyone must be like, okay, you are the founder, or what, who is like running the FAANGPath. So me and Chanchal Kohli, we both are running FAANGPath, and Chanchal is basically an HR leader in Amazon. She has 10 plus years of recruitment experience. Then comes in Nikita, who is me, and I'm currently working as a technical recruiter as a startup, and also has 6 plus years of digital marketing experience. So we both started FAANGPath last year. And the reason like we started because we really wanted to help candidates and the job seekers to provide right guidance to provide to that, so that their resumes and profile reach that level that they start getting calls, interview calls. And because of the COVID, we find a similar pattern. And the problem was that on LinkedIn, people started writing that post called with the hashtag open to work. They started putting in their profile photos, and because Chanchal was an HR leader in Amazon, she used to get like at least 30 plus requests on LinkedIn. They wanted a referral in Amazon through her. But the problem was that because their profiles, their resumes were not to that level, that in fact she used to refer to them, then also they never used to get a response or reply anything from the company. So then we both had this discussion, and because we knew that the COVID is a real problem, but still there are companies who are hiring. But the problem was that we wanted that your profile, your resume should be picked up because in any of these FANG Plus companies, at least there are like 200 to 300 applicants for any single role. So we wanted that your profile shines up and it should be like visible to the hiring managers or recruiters, and they give you an interview call. So that is why we started this, and that's why we started the whole organization, which is called FAANGPath. And to start with, like to tell you more about the company in terms of where we have like mentors who are working, who are in the FANG Plus companies, working in different FANG organizations, who are in their different domains, in their different departments. So last year when I moved from US to Singapore to US, I noticed that like people were posting losing their jobs, they were laid off, and the pandemic was a real problem, and they started using this hashtag. So then we kind of had a discussion that we wanted to help, and we wanted to help them through with the help of these mentors who themselves are the hiring managers and the recruiters, so that they can provide the right guidance, because they kind of interview and they shortlist the resume on day-to-day basis. So the motive of the FANG path is to support the job aspirants to get them placed at the companies they desire, and by helping them build the impressive resume so that they can get the phone call from the recruiter, and which can help them land an interview with the hiring manager. So this is the main motive, and this is something initially we started FAANGPath as completely free service. There was no cost, there was nothing, and we had like 50 plus candidates. But slowly, because when you have like too many services free of cost, things were not taken that seriously. So then FAANGPath, like, and as a whole service thing came into existence, where we offered resume review, LinkedIn makeover, mock interviews, and number of different services. The next thing, like I can show you that our students or people who have graduated are from different universities, started from Carnegie Mellon, University of Pennsylvania, Georgia Tech, UDT, Arizona, Duke. Like you can say any university in US, and you can find the students who have came and taken the services or help from FAANGPath. So they are there. Before we dive deep into more about the resume about it, I would like to know, like, if you can share in your chat that what are your dream companies, what are the companies which you are targeting, so that I have a better clear idea. This is more like to understand that what are the, like, everyone is targeting, or what everyone is kind of, if we can share in the chat that okay, this is what I can see. Amazon, Microsoft, anyone else has any target companies? Facebook, Tesla, wow, okay. Mastercard, BM, Tesla, Apple, Nike. Big organizations, okay. Airbus, Apple, Spotify. Okay, this is good. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get an idea in terms of what exactly the companies you are targeting. And this is something because I've asked, and the reason is that by all you know that our company name is FAANGPath. You must be thinking, oh, they must be just catering FAANG companies. This is not like for me, why I'm attending this workshop. So let me clarify before we move ahead that FAANGPath is helping candidates to prepare a top-notch resume for the FAANG companies, as the hiring bar in these companies is really, really high. So once your resume is set for that, it is all set for any of these FAANG Plus companies, including all the big tech companies. The common denominator in all these companies is the high quality work, peers, and pay. And that's why we are kind of having these things. And we kind of wanted to focus all the companies starting from startups, big tech, Facebook, and obviously 5 companies including Microsoft. So that is the target, but definitely it does not stop there, because obviously different people, and I can see from the chart, different people have their different targeted companies. So let me clarify and let me tell you more about a step-by-step process. How to get a job is basically is a 3-step process. This is something which is very clear, and the reason that I'm sharing with you, so that everyone knows that how a recruitment works in any of the companies, not only FAANG companies, but in any company, what is the step 1, 2, 3, and how you in the end get a job. So how does when get a job is like, well, the answer is very obvious, right? You submit your resume, it gets shortlisted, you get interviewed, you pass the interview, get hired. So to get to the final stage, what is the most important tool for you to get the foot into the door? Obviously the main and the most important thing is your resume, because you apply, you get shortlisted, and it's not only through when you apply, but also if you're going via referral, as I mentioned some time back, if you even if you're going via referral, you need to share your resume. Everyone, even if it's hiring manager, even if it's a recruiter, they will ask your resume. They won't process the whole thing if you don't share your resume. They will say, we need your resume to pass to the next step. So you need to share your resume, and your resume should be updated. Otherwise, they will come back, they will say, add this, that, and your resume is not updated. So your resume is one thing which is very key factor in the whole recruitment process. So importance of resume. Your resume is basically, which is something which is, like, as I mentioned, will help you get your foot in the door. Your resume is a tool that talks about your skills, your experience, your qualification, etc. It makes the best impression or sometimes the last impression. So think of it as an elevator pitch. As much time you have it till the elevator run. So it has to impress the recruiter and also the hiring manager in 80 to 30 seconds. And the reason why I'm focusing a lot on this is because no one gives more than that amount of time on resume. So you need to impress any of these people within that few seconds so that it passes to the next step. Otherwise, it will go directly to the trash, or they will move on to the next candidate. So everyone knows that Amazon is one of those organizations who has been continuously hiring even in the COVID time. So in the last 6 months, for a single role, Chanchal used to tell me that she used to get like minimum 200 resumes even after ATS screening. So I know that a lot of people might thinking, what is ATS? We will talk more about ATS later. So she used to get even 200 plus resumes even after ATS screening. So you can understand that if she's getting 200 resumes and she's giving just 8 seconds, how much amount of her time is being spent. So she can't afford to spend more time, she can't give more time, because she has to make sure that she's picking up like few resumes out of those 200 resumes which are matching to the job description, to make sure to pass it to the hiring manager. So out of 200 resume, if your resume is not shining within 8 seconds, she won't pass it to the hiring manager. So there are so many job affairs and conferences, and the reason, like, you can see that right now also we are having this event virtually, and the reason is because of COVID. Nothing is like, you can't meet me, I can't meet you, and you can't meet any recruiter, hiring manager. Everything is virtually, and because of things being moved virtually, the importance of resume has shined up, and resume has been like one of the very important and a keen factor which is playing a role, a major role in everyone's life. Because now no one can meet, impress it, or go on a coffee chat or kind of have that whole conversation, because the COVID is a problem, and we can't have, like, for example, even Grace Hopper and all the big career fairs, we can't meet anyone, everything is like going virtually. So last year I even participated in Grace Hopper, and I could not meet or had that bonding with any of these people. And the reason was it was virtually. So everyone was telling me, wherever I was signing up, wherever I was going in, everyone was telling me, this is our email ID, or this is the link of the website, apply directly. If you're applying directly, what does they mean? Resume. If your resume is not matching, if your resume is getting rejected, you won't get that call. So there was like, I was like feeling like it was like complete kind of a wastage of money or something, because virtually the only thing which could make an impact was your resume. So moving on, what now, as I said, applicant tracking system, which is like very, very important thing, and everyone, whoever is present today, please try to understand the importance of applicant tracking system. I know there are a lot of people, a lot of things being said about ATS, and a lot of um, websites or a lot of videos, blogs, everything are being written. But this is something coming in because we have kind of had different case studies. We have worked with different FAANG mentors. We have worked with different companies. So we have kind of know how different ATS works and what is the importance and how companies uses ATS. So ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. So applicant tracking system is commonly referred to as ATS. It's a software that automates the hiring process. And why companies uses it? Because they don't have time to kind of go manually through 500 plus applicants or 300, 400 applicants, because these big tech companies or even companies like which are middle level companies, they get very large amount of applicants and they can't manually go through each of the applicant. So they use ATS to filter out few applications, and then based on that, then the HR and the hiring manager will see or go through it within few seconds and pick up some resumes and then pass it to the next level. So it screens the resumes candidates automatically based on the keywords. And now I'm highlighting keywords and it entered in the system for a certain job description. So based on the job description, it picks up few keywords which are there in the job description. And based on that, it passes your resume, and it gives you an assessment that these candidate is matching how much with the job description. So if you're matching too low, based on the keywords which are there in the job description, it won't pass your resume, and it filters it out based on that, or it gives you a percentage. It shows us that, okay, this resume is matching 30%, 20%, 25%. This resume is matching 90%. So obviously, if your resume is matching higher, you have a better chance of moving to the next level. But if it's not there, it will get rejected. So it's a basic, simple criteria, but companies are using different ATS, and if you go and even Google it, you can see n number of ATS being used by different companies. They purchase these ATS and they kind of make. So your resume, that one page of your resume should be an ATS compliant resume. That is like, if your resume is submitting anywhere, you are applying anywhere and ATS is there, your resume should pass through ATS. If it's not passing through ATS, and the reason that I'm saying it's not passing is that it don't have those keywords which are in the job description. So if those keywords are missing, if you're skipping those keywords, obviously it won't pass through the ATS. And also in the next step, also when HR will go through it or hiring manager will go through it, they won't pass it to the next level of the interview. So the journal goal is to narrow the applicant pool to the hiring manager so that they can meet the best applicants based on the predetermined set of criteria. That is the whole concept of ATS in one layman line. So I can show you one important thing. This is how the candidate shortlisting process works. This is how we do that. So you submit your resume, then it passes through the ATS. Then there are some keywords which are searched. That is what I told you, that this is based on your resume, which is doing that. And then after passing all the resumes, the ATS tags ranks the resumes that best suit the job description. So it matches to the job description. Then the recruiter picks top 20 or 10 resumes, which are the best matches for the job description, then takes a quick glance at the resume. The ones that really stands out are passed on to the hiring manager for review. This is when the successful applicants are finally seen by the human eye, well after most candidates has been rejected. Unless your application is one of the few chosen by the system, your resume will never be seen by a real person. So you need to make sure that when you are applying, till the point a recruiter and a hiring manager goes through the resumes, your resume is not missed. And the thing, it should not be missed, that it passes through the ATS. ATS shows it as a relevant resume which is matching through the job description. If it don't shows at matching through the job description, any recruiter or hiring manager won't pass it to the next step of the interview process. And I don't know how many people, but it's like when you sometimes apply, not sometimes, but many times you apply, you get an auto-generated rejection. And I know a lot of people will agree to it. When they apply to it, within like, not even within 24 hours, within couple of hours, you start getting a rejection email saying that unfortunately your resume is not selected. And the reason why that email comes in, because ATS sends it. So ATS is there. If your resume is not matching at all, it just send you an auto-generated rejection saying, hey, sorry, unfortunately. And it never tells you a reason. It won't tell you that your resume is not matching keyword, your things, this is the percentage, or these are the keywords missing. It won't tell you. They will just send you a rejection email saying that, hey, hi, this is the applicant answer. And a lot of times it happens that you won't get even an email, but a lot of times it's like you get an auto-generated email. And the reason is that they have an ATS filtered out. And if your resume is matching a very low key, it just send you an auto-generated rejection. So the important next we are going to talk about elements of a successful resume, because I want to tell you that these are the things which should be there in your resume and really important. You can see that there is a link at the bottom of it. It's a free resume template created by FAANGPath, by one of the FAANG mentor working and associated with FAANGPath. It's tested and run. I can share the link in the chat later. So this is something which you can access. It's a overleaf template created by us. You can download and you can create one, or you can have your account in overleaf and you can make this whole resume. It's a one page very clean resume. It's ATS approved resume. So elements of successful resume should include contact details, object summary, skills, work experience, projects, education, certificates, and then you can have awards, recognitions, and volunteer work as an optional things. You might have it or you might not have it, depends on you. It's not a mandatory thing, but if you have space, then you can have it. Then some common mistakes which I want to share with you, which are there in the resume and which is there. First is the formatting. 2-column, bad indentations and sloppiness. Please don't make your resumes two columns. Try to avoid bad indentations and try to avoid sloppiness. This is like basic formatting issues which we have seen in like n number of resumes. Don't make your resume 2-column, and the reason why I'm saying it won't pass ATS, because a lot of ATS filters out and they are following the 1-column format. So don't follow the 2-column format. The second thing is unclear what you are looking for your next move. So people are sometimes they not able to share the whole story, what they are looking in the next career or what is their target role. So sometimes, like for example, they are working as a consultant in last 5 years, 6 years, and now they are looking for a product manager role. So it's very unclear why they are looking for a product manager role and why we should even consider them for a product manager role. It's fine that you are looking for a career transition into product manager, but why, like why I should consider, if I am the hiring manager for a product manager role, why I should consider you. You've been working as a consultant in any of these consulting firms. Like for example, if you're working in KPMG, it's good, you can try for a consultant role, but why I should consider you for a product manager role over someone who already have a product manager experience. So you need to make sure that someone who is on the other side of the table should understand that why they should consider you for this role and what stands out in your resume, so that your profile is considered for a product manager, not for a consultant role. And that's why they keep on getting the rejections for the same roles. And they come and they tell me that, Nikita, we are not getting a product manager call, we are getting a consultant call. Obviously you won't get a product manager call because your resume is showing all consulting things, it's not showing a product. So you need to make sure that whatever you're making as a next move, whatever you're trying to go into, even as a graduate, as a fresher, it's very clearly denoted from your resume. Whoever is giving like few seconds, they should understand that this is what your resume is going, or your career is going, you are targeting this type of role as your career move. Work descriptions, people write stories, people write like 10 pointers, people write like 2 to 3 pages of resumes, they like write three point, like these many big of pointers in the work experience. So the thing is, the problem is that its impact is clearly not visible. They don't add numbers, they don't make it impactful, they just make it wordy, and because of that it takes a lot of space, and because of this, length of the resume goes on increasing, which is not required at all in your resume. And definitely the third and the most important thing, lack of keywords. Keyword is one thing which people kind of don't don't understand, or they kind of get confused, or sometimes, like I've also seen people who write n number of keywords, which is also not required. Like they make sure that they write all things which are there in the job description. So one more important thing, don't copy paste the job description, because that is not what is important and that's what not required at all. People want to see what you have done, but on the same hand they want to take, for example, I can give you a quick example. Whenever I used to apply into any of these big tech or analytics, or so, my target role was data analyst roles. I used to apply for data analyst. So I used to use keywords like analyzed or developed, automated, or made the dashboard. So those kind of things are the keywords. These are the very few keywords I'm telling you in the data side, but there are n number of data. And also I used to focus a lot on soft skills, because soft skills are also keywords. But now you have to understand and you need to make sure that you get the right guidance, that what are the right keywords in your case, in your profile, and who is giving you a guidance. So that is really, really important, because I have seen people giving a number of like guidance and things, mentorship, but they don't tell you that keywords are really, really important, and they are actually in the job descriptions only, but you need to understand that what are those keywords. So I would like to share some of the case studies. These case studies are basically some of the candidates who came to FAANGPath, and I would like to share that how FAANGPath and kind of what are their before and after, how FAANGPath helped them, and what was the impact, so that you can clearly understand that how the transformation took place and how FAANGPath helped them with the help of the FAANG mentors. So if you can see, there's an example of a graduate student who was looking for a product manager role. So if you see the before and after side, like resume, I know that it's very small because of the, what can I say? We don't want to share the whole resume because of the personal thing. So we just wanted to share with you that this is the before and after. And before was a 8 font size, which was used. Too much details. If you can see the bullet points, they are like two big bullet points. They were like mostly into the, as I mentioned, into consulting background, not relevant to product manager at all. And resume in short was complete mess, and it was not denoting at all a product management resume. Then after we reviewed and after we helped the candidate to reform the whole resume, the candidate started getting calls from these companies, Amazon, EY, and there's this company called Allegheny County. It's a company in US. You can Google it. We changed the font size from 8 to 11. We optimized the keywords for the product manager or product program manager roles, because his target were these roles in big tech companies. And then we added the relevant details. We removed the unrelevant details, whatever was added. Then it was sleek and easy to understand resume, and resume actually portrays excellence. If you see the after one, it was like really, really, the candidate was so happy, and soon after he applied and he started getting from call, and now he's actually working in Allegheny County. He accepted the offer, and he's working with Allegheny County now as a product manager. So this is something, the before and after, which is like a graduate student, and he actually graduated from Carnegie Mellon. So the summary was, I can give you a very detailed explanation. The summary was cross-functional program manager with experience in leading top-line growth program for technology firms, led partnership programs to increase 40% revenue. So before, it was implemented end-to-end customer acquisition strategies, direct outreach, utilizing capital, social capital referrals to streamline digital marketing of SMEs. But after that, we increased, and basically we helped him to kind of rewrite the whole summary. And after that, basically we added the numbers, and we provide the details about the team involved, what was the growth percentage, and how it improved the productivity. So if you see and read the before part, there was nothing. Like when we also read it, we were confused what he's trying to say, what was the outcome, what was the impact. Nothing was there. Like it was clueless what he's trying to say through his summary and what denotes from his summary. So finally, after working with the candidates through several iterations and several things, our team of product managers who are working in the FAANG companies, who are actually the mentors who are working in Amazon and Microsoft, helped him paint a clear picture of his contributions. And for example, the same line, if you can see, the after one was rewritten, and the candidate's focus of the leadership skills, a direct impact of 10% customer acquisition growth and increase in productivity by 30%. So that was added, and the reason that was added just to highlight that what he did, how he impacted the whole team he was working with, and what was the outcome of it. So now it's very clear from his summary that this was the outcome, this was the thing he did, and what was the impact he made. So that is where basically our work focus a lot on the quality, excellence, and bringing out the best in every candidate. So now I would like to talk, like we have talked a lot about resume and I have showed you a lot of things, and I would like to talk a little bit about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is something which is very dear to my heart, and I kind of prefer, and um, all my jobs I've gotten directly through LinkedIn via either through networking, going and reaching out to recruiters, hiring managers, or they coming out to me directly and sending me a messages through email that we have this role. Nikita, do you want to kind of interview for this role? Until today, I'm getting the interview calls, so I'm not looking for any jobs, but people still reach out to me. And the reason is that my LinkedIn profile, if everyone go and check it out, please do check it out. And the reason why I'm saying is that I do update it every now and then. I keep it updated. I am very, very active on LinkedIn. I do provide n number of resources, free number of resources on LinkedIn. I try to connect with n number of people. And if you see my LinkedIn profile, every section of LinkedIn has been utilized. So the reason is that people don't utilize LinkedIn in a right way. They don't understand the importance of LinkedIn, and sometimes people think that LinkedIn won't get us the call. LinkedIn won't help us to get a call, but I don't agree, and I really disagree. So that's why I did a lot of workshops where I kind of share with candidates what and how you should put in your resume, sorry, in your LinkedIn, so that you get interview calls directly without even applying, just through LinkedIn. And within a couple of days, like you won't agree, like, or now not even imagine that within a couple of days people start getting interview calls directly in their inbox messages. So you need to understand what should be there in your profile, why LinkedIn profile is important, how LinkedIn profile is different from your resume, and whatever you are writing in your resume, obviously because you have more space in your LinkedIn profile, it should not be a replicated version, but it should not be different from resume. So I've seen people who have written very different things in resume, very different things in LinkedIn. It should not be like that. They should be like hand in hand things, but because LinkedIn gives you more space, LinkedIn gives you more options, so you should add in more stuff in LinkedIn over anything else. I'm just checking the chat if anyone has any. Oops, I think I've. One second, let me share it back. Can I take in between some questions so that I can go back and do it? Anyone has any questions so that I can answer them? I haven't changed my LinkedIn summary on profile because I don't want my current employer to know I'm looking to. Okay. Okay, so the thing is, like, even if you are already, and this is something which we also, because we cater a lot of people who are already working and they're looking for job opportunities. So even if you are working and you are looking for any job opportunities, it should not be a problem, because you can hide it from your, what can I say, team. And even if you update your summary in a way that it should not be evident that you're looking for a job. So even if you're updating your summary and you are putting in context related to your profile, it's just you are updating it. It's not like you're looking for a job. And also that open to work, a lot of people say that if we do open to work, our team will know, our manager will know. Nothing of that sort. If you just keep it private to the recruiters and the hiring managers, none of your company people will know that you're looking for a job. So please do that. And the reason why I'm saying is that it's really a good tool. And um, me coming in from myself as a recruiter, when I use LinkedIn Recruiter, I always click on open to work just to filter out candidates who are very actively looking for jobs over candidates who are not looking for jobs. So if you filter using that tab, you will see people who are very actively looking and who have opened that open to work in their profile. So it's better that if you do that, and it's really important to make sure that your profile pops up and your profile comes in the search engine of the recruiters and the hiring manager. Otherwise your profile really don't comes up. And also the keywords, again, like I'm going to maybe repeat the whole thing. Keyword is one thing which is like very, very important, and again it's needed in the LinkedIn also, as well as in your resume, because that is something which is really, really important to make sure that your profile pops up and your profile is seen by the recruiters and the hiring managers. So the moving on, why LinkedIn is important, definitely, as I said, that it can help you directly get interview calls without even applying, and you don't have to apply for hundreds of jobs. People will start reaching out to you directly through email, and I have seen the magic myself, not only in my profile but to the in the profile of the candidates whom I'm helping on day-to-day basis. Like I do their makeover on Sunday or Saturday, and from Monday their LinkedIn just gets blown up. They get n number of calls, and like they are like, we don't know sometimes how to tackle so many interview calls. And sometimes like the problem is that they are not sure that we will start getting so many interview calls, and they start getting interview calls, and then they are like, now we have to prepare for the interview calls. Because obviously if you're getting a call from any of these FAANG companies, especially Google, Facebook and Amazon and all these, the level of preparation should be very high. So be prepared that once you start getting calls, you are prepared. And this is something which I tell all the candidates who are taking help from FAANGPath, that be prepared to get an interview call within next few weeks, within next few days, or maybe in a couple of days. You never know, the magic can happen in next couple of days. So be very prepared that you have signed up today. Your preparation should start from today. So we can get you the calls. We are giving you, or we are giving that opportunity that you're getting those calls. Now the ball is in your court. You have those calls. Now you have to prepare. If you have the calls and you're not able to crack it, obviously it's like you are letting go of that opportunity. You came to us, we helped you to get the calls. You need to be prepared to that level that you crack those jobs, because it's really, really important. And it's like when I see those interview calls coming in, or like it's like just flooding in, I myself sometimes feel that this is real, like because the candidate never ever got it. And today only I got two messages. One of the candidate was like, I applied to Google, I don't know, 10 or 20 times. I never ever got a call from Google. And since I took help from FAANGPath, I got a call from Google, and the the Google recruiter reached out by herself. So I was so happy that a candidate finally got a call from Google, but the candidate already accepted Goldman Sachs offer. So she's just going with that, and she's just not like going into Google, because obviously cracking Google is not easy, and it takes n number of what can I say, months preparations and everything to kind of prepare for Google. So she's like, I'm very happy that at least I got a call, which I was being waiting for months and months. Going back to the topic, this is the thing that you should work on your resume. That's really important, but you should work on your LinkedIn profile as well. And working on LinkedIn profile is an ongoing process. It's not one day process. It's not like, oh fine, I got my job today, I'm done with LinkedIn, I stopped using LinkedIn till the next time I need a job. No, you should use your LinkedIn day and night. I know my craziness of using LinkedIn is another level. No one can compare to my craziness, because I use LinkedIn more than even Instagram and Facebook. So you can't compare to using LinkedIn as compared as to me. But on the same hand, use LinkedIn just to make sure that you don't have the scarcity of the calls at any point of time. And not only like you, I mean, just to tell you that I used to get calls from, not like, I was in Singapore for almost 5 years, and I not only used to get calls from Singapore, I used to get calls from, I got an offer from Deloitte Australia, I got offer from EY Ireland, and also Medium US. You can Google these companies if you don't know about them. I got these offers, and the reason why I got it through LinkedIn. All the recruiters, hiring manager reached out to me, and it was like a global interview process which I was going in. And that's what made me use LinkedIn day and night. And that's what made me, the thing is like, the only thing which I feel the struggle and the whole thing that I learned the whole concept of LinkedIn and networking, everything by myself. There was no mentor, there was no one who helped me to understand it. I was the one who was struggling day and night. I was the one who was doing it. Whether I failed, whether I succeeded, I know that I'm telling you my success stories, but I failed n number of times. I failed and I used to cry. I used to be like, this person is not replying to me, I'm not getting an interview call. But I learned my hard way. So the thing is like, I learned it, and the reason why I started FAANGPath is like, I can at least pass those things which I learned, so that everyone don't have the same struggle for months and years, and they don't have that. But whatever I learned, I can just pass it on and help the candidate to get a job. And that's why when candidates get a job through my things, I feel so happy that at least they are getting it through LinkedIn, because LinkedIn to me is like something another level. Like whenever someone says LinkedIn, you can see a big smile on my face. And the reason is like, LinkedIn is everything to me. So LinkedIn is powerful, LinkedIn is great, but you need to understand how to use LinkedIn. The one more important thing is make sure that your profile portrays a story. And the reason why I tell this to everyone, that if you use LinkedIn in a boring way and you haven't shown that what is there, what you have done, what your what your profile is actually telling, or what your profile actually means, no one will, like, even if you get views, even if you get people on your profile, they won't like stay on your profile, or they won't show the interest to your profile. So you need to understand that starting from your cover photo till your last thing, whole profile says a story, whole profile connects different dots. Whatever section you have added, first of all, add all the sections. I don't know how many people have used different, I've not seen any of these people's profile, but I really want to see like a connection in all the sections. I want to see that each section is connected and also it tells a story. And it's like, I feel happy that I landed to your profile. I should not feel, oh, I wasted time landing on your profile. So that is the difference I want to see on the profile. And that's where I really focus that your profile should tell a story, and it should be like a really great starting from your cover photo. Then definitely your profile photo should be updated, your cover photo should be, this is like a very basic things. And recommendations, links, skill sections, works. So there are different sections, like I can go on and on and on, but there are different n number of sections which should be completed in your LinkedIn profile to make sure that you get those interview calls. So I would like to share some of our testimonials just to tell you more about it. Like, if you can see, someone mailed us one day that he got like 300% increase in recruiters reaching out. And the reason is that he was getting, he's already a working professional. Like, someone messaged, sorry, not messaged, in the chat, someone said that I'm already working. So he's also working. He's like a very senior person in one of the companies, one of the banks, and he's targeting FAANG companies. So he came to us and he was just targeting two FAANG companies, Facebook and Amazon. And you can see he just emailed us and saying that his LinkedIn profile now has 300% increase in the recruiters and the hiring managers. And the reason is because now his profile has everything needed, whatever is required to make sure that the recruiters and hiring managers reach out to him over other candidates. Then you can see that Snapchat and other profiles, then Amazon, like the list goes on, and people get calls from n number of companies through changes what we do. So definitely, as I said, that FAANGPath can help you get industry experts. And why FAANGPath is different from other companies, because we do have people or mentors from your domain. So if you're coming from a software engineering, we will pass your profile to a software engineer. If you are a UX person, we will pass your profile to a UX person. If you are a data scientist, we will pass your profile to a data scientist. I won't do all the profiles, and the reason is because I'm not an expert in all the profiles. And if someone is doing that, that's totally wrong, because you can't expect someone who don't know about your work to give you resume help or any career help, because they don't have any experience in that domain. So we do have people who have that domain experience and who can read through your profile and can guide you better, and then can tell you that, okay, this is wrong, this is right, and this need to be changed, because they do see these kind of profiles on day-to-day basis, and they have much more experience over anyone else. So that's where we do that matching, and we pass your profile only to the relevant person. Then highest number of callbacks, as I said, role-based mentors. We have reached 7,000. I think it's more than 10,000 now. Then there's a Discord community. If anyone wants to join, it's there on our website, fangpart.com. You can join. It's free. If you want any referral, we don't anyways charge for any referral, and we don't stop any mentor. You can share your profile. If any mentor wants to give any referral, they can give the referral. You can share your profile, resume, and everything. Then we do have like 200 plus success stories, and the number is going on and on. If you can check out my LinkedIn profile, you can see success stories every second or third day. I post it on my LinkedIn profile. Then how does we work? Then there are mentors, as I mentioned, from FAANG Plus companies. They are candidates which are like you, and then in between it comes the FAANGPath. So that the mentors work on the candidates, and they work on their profile, and then they give the feedback and guidance and everything, and so that to make sure that you get these interview calls. This is a quick thing which I want to share. This is a 30-second summary. This is like a whole overview of to show you that how the resume thing works and how we give it. So it's a very detailed, it's like 6 to 7 pages long, in which we provide what are the keywords which should be added, what are the things which are to be added in your summary, which are the things should be added in your work summary to in your work projects. So we give you very detailed feedback, word to word is being read by the mentor, and then based on that the feedback is provided. So to make sure that none of your sections in your resume or your profile is being left out and it's being cut. So this is the whole thing which I wanted to just showcase you. So definitely we do have other services, one-to-one mentorship, LinkedIn cover, mock interviews, and GitHub. And if you want to check out, definitely feel free. And I can share the link of my LinkedIn also, so that everyone can reach out to me. So this is my LinkedIn link. If anyone wants to follow or connect, I'm more than happy to connect. And now I think, Mary, you want to come back, or do you want me to kind of take over the question part?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. I cannot stress how important like LinkedIn and resumes are in the whole recruiting and first introduction to resume building as well as interviewing. At this time, does anyone have any questions? I'm also happy to look at the chat to see if we missed any questions. I believe, should you friend your boss or supervisor on LinkedIn? Thoughts on that? That's a really great question.
So it depends totally. Like if you are very, as I mentioned, you're very actively looking and you want to kind of like sometimes, say, for example, for me as a recruiter, my manager, the first thing my manager wanted to add me on my LinkedIn. That is like the first thing. So you can't avoid, right? You can't just say that, no, I don't want to add you. So if your manager is fine and they don't give you, they are not saying add me, don't add them, just to make sure that if you are looking for a job, or if you're writing post or things and you don't want let them know, then you can just let it go and you don't want to do that. But if you are like, okay, I'm fine and the manager is fine, then you can just add it. And all my managers are actually being added on my LinkedIn. And the reason is because I used to take recommendations from them. So if you go and check my LinkedIn, I have recommendations from my past managers, from my past colleagues and everyone. And actually they are needed. So you need to make sure that they are there. But on the same hand, as I mentioned, they should not be aware that you're looking for a job also. So you have to be careful for both of things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice. Like finding the balance between not letting your manager know and not necessarily seeking them out on LinkedIn. That makes sense. Anna had another question. You mentioned the importance of keywords for ATS on resumes. What do you think about bolding language names and keywords to help human resources or recruiters who are skimming? Is that helpful or is that annoying?
Yeah, do make it bold, that's fine, but don't make too many things bold, because I've seen people making too many things bold in the resume, and I was like, why they are making so many things bold? So if you're making too many things also bold, it's not easy for the person to understand that why you're making so many things bold. And also try to make only the keywords bold, don't try to make everything bold. Like sometimes people make the whole sentences, and sometimes, so try, don't do all those things, just make only few keywords which are really important. As I said that, which I shared, like for example, developed, analyzed, I'm just saying about my profile. So don't take as like the final keyword for all the profiles, because obviously they are not the keywords for all the profiles, but just make sure that you have it. But don't make like the whole resume black and bolded. That's
Yeah,
what
no.
also I've seen the both versions where people have seen like n number of keywords bolded.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great take as well. Kimberly has another question. For people who are doing a 180 career change, what advice would you give to minimize the lack of experience in the desired career?
Where is the question? For the people who are doing a 180 change. Okay. Minimize the lack of. Um, so the thing is, in this case, try to do some, as I've said, like I gave you an example where a consulting person, like so completely from a consulting background, was trying to change into product management, right? There's no relation between a consulting and a product manager. And if you see that person's profile, it's very hard for me also, like though I'm not a product manager, though I'm not a consultant, it's really is difficult for me to understand why and what was the reason the person is looking to pivot the career into product management, right? So now the question comes in that what things can be changed in the past experience or the current experience, which can highlight that what motivated you to become a product manager now. So what was the thing that though you were working as a consulting thing, you were working on it, but what was the motivation? So portray it as a story that I was working as a consultant, but these are the 2 pointers, 3 pointers that though I was working as a consultant, but also I was started working as a product manager or somewhere within the same role. If you can't do that, if a lot of people say that we can't do that, then try to do a side project or something, maybe some internships or freelancing work or some personal projects, not even go outside, but do some personal project like make a own website. So if, for example, in my case, FAANGPath for me is my personal project, like it's my own hustle or it's my own thing. So I can show my FAANGPath as my personal project, and I can show FAANGPath where I'm working as n number of things. I'm working as a salesperson, I'm working as a marketing person, I'm working as a customer support, I'm working as a founder, I'm working as, what can I say, product manager. I'm working like wearing different hats, right? So try to showcase as some of the personal project as something that, okay, though I was working full time on this, but on the side I was working on this to make sure that I move my career from this domain to this domain. If you don't have it, then you can't have the keywords if you don't do those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I guess this question actually flows in well. We have another woman who is studying code and front-end development from online courses, but previously got an MBA, does not have any certificates in IT. Should I register for a course to get a certificate? Are certificates a keyword in ATS? Will that help me kind of pivot my career into a front-end job, for example?
Yeah, so certificates are not 100% necessary. It's not like a 2 days to be added. Certificate can give you an upper hand. Certificate can give you an upper edge to showcase that though I don't have any experience into front end, I got certification. Now this is my proof that I have certified or I'm learning front end. And on the same hand, as I said, that you can do a small side project on front end. You can build a website, and maybe any website, like you can use any of the, I'm coming from a development background, so I know a little bit about it. So you can build any of the small project, a small website, and you can say, I built it this whole, and you can even go on Fiverr, take some freelancing projects on Fiverr and say that I did this project and I did it as a freelancing project as a front end developer. And using that thing, you can add those keywords. Otherwise, sometimes it becomes very hard for us also to add those keywords or to kind of tell the candidate how you can portray your front end development side when you don't have anything on it. So that is where you can be added.
Yeah, absolutely. And another question kind of similar to along these answers. How do I describe group work in my work experience where things I did not directly do are relevant to parts that I did do? Interesting question.
Yeah. So don't say that, I mean, like, because it was a group work, it was not your individual project. So you can even say that you can put in your work experience, and on the same hand, you can, like, in one liner, you can say that collaborated or coordinated with 5 team members or 10 team members. That will clarify. And also collaborated and coordinated is again a keyword. So now you are adding a keyword, and you are also saying that I was working as a collaboratively as a team worker, because that is what is needed in a lot of companies, that you showcase your teamwork, and teamwork is actually again a keyword. So you need to make sure that even though you're writing it, you're portraying it, and whatever you want to share your experience, then you can share in the next line that this is what I did though I was working in a group, but this was what I did as a group work or a group project or whatever you want to showcase it.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that is a skill within itself, collaborating and working with people that are contributing different things, different projects. So definitely highlight that there. More questions coming in, very exciting. What are the must-have parts about the About section of LinkedIn?
Yeah, so the must thing is that, because it should not be too long, because I've seen people writing pages. Don't do that. It should not be too short. I've seen people writing 2 lines or 3 lines at max. Don't do that also. Try to, again, as I said, that try to again share a story, what you were doing, what you're doing, and what is your target, and also what your core skills, because that is really important. I don't want to go deep dive into your skills section to understand what are your top 50 skills. No, I want to see in the top. Like if you yourself will go and land on anyone's LinkedIn profile, you will see just this part of the LinkedIn profile. And there comes your about section. So if you're about section, I'm not able to understand anything. I don't have that much of time to scroll through your whole profile. Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't do. So try to make sure that your about section is very clear, crisp, and it says everything, whatever is required about your profile, rather than anyone you are making that anyone should go through your LinkedIn profile to go through till your skill section, because skill section comes very, very below. So add that, and also end it with something where how anyone can reach out to you, or something which is more like, this is my email ID or something. Because I've seen, I don't know why people do this, but this is, as a recruiter, I'm saying that they don't share any contact info, and I'm clueless why. So I know I used to send them an email, and then I have to wait for many days to, or many hours for them to reply back. But if they have their emails or contact info, I can directly contact them, right? So I don't know why people don't do it. So if anyone hasn't added it, please add it, just to make sure that it's easy for other people to reach out to you.
Absolutely. That's a great piece of advice to add contact information to that about section.
Yeah.
Pivoting a bit here, is it, in your opinion, is it easier to get into FAANG as a new grad right away with university internships, or after a couple of years of experience applying through a normal job posting?
You can get FAANG into at any point of time. You even as a fresher, you can get, with experience you can get. And because we have helped so many people with so many different experience and different domains, different experience, different profiles, so I can vouch for it. You can get into FAANG at any point of time. But one thing is there, that getting a call is one thing, and your level of preparation to get into FAANG, because FAANG interview calls, we can, like as I said, FAANGPath can help you in any ways to get a FAANG call. But on the same hand, after that, people are not able to crack the interviews. So that is really, really important, that once you start going into that path of getting a call of FAANG companies, you need to mentally get yourself prepared, that you have that level of preparation. Otherwise, you get the call and you're kind of wasting it, that you get a call from Google or Facebook or Amazon and any of these companies, and you're not able to crack it. And they actually just give you a rejection within a round, and they don't even like consider you for next 6-7 months. So make sure that you're getting calls, but you are very, very well prepared for these.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice. Like the whole process might be starting with, how do I prepare? And then once you actually take these calls, am I ready to interview? That's
Yeah,
a whole
exactly.
different ballgame.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Another question from Ansa: how do I present my resume when trying to rejoin the workforce after a job gap of 6 years due to personal reasons? That's a great question.
So basically for this also, we do have people, recently we had not one, but two of them who were actually having a gap, and they came back to the workforce because of some n number of reasons. So I don't think so it's a problem. It's just that one, after taking a gap, when you are coming back, it takes some time for you to kind of go back to the workforce, and also to, I'm not saying hide that gap, but you need to justify that you had 6 years of gap, what you did in the 6 years. Though you were focusing on your family, or you were doing something for your own thing, personal stuff, but you can't say that in your interview, and you can't put that in your resume, because obviously people won't say that, okay, 6 years is a big gap, right? So you can cover up that whole thing with a small certification, or with some skills that you can say, over the 6 years of time, I learned this thing, I had these skills developed, or I did this project, or some freelancing or something of that sort. Or you can even say that I built this personal project, something of that sort. Or even like people do some certification courses, something of that sort, so to cover that whole 6 years of gap. Because a lot of times it becomes difficult for the people to go back. And I've seen also one more thing, that people get calls with some covering up, but they are not able to crack it, because it's not easy for them to kind of um, crack the interviews after so many years of gap. And they kind of not, because a lot of people will ask, not a lot of people, every interviewer will ask you, why 6 years of gap? And you need to have a story. You need to tell them that why 6 years of gap, and you need to be confident, whatever that reason was. Just tell it and portray a story, because everyone will ask you in every of these rounds. And I have seen and I've talked to such people. They really struggle. There can be a number of reasons, as I said, but don't let the other person overcome it, and don't lose your confidence, because I've seen people doing that, and because of that they get rejected. So don't do that.
Absolutely. I agree as well. Another question about ATS. We have a couple more ATS questions that came in. For ATS keyword scanning, do I need to be careful of other characters such as commas, brackets, etc., being next to keywords? Does that matter? You know, will the keyword still match, I guess is the question.
Commas and brackets, obviously no, because obviously you are writing a sentence and you can add comma there, like they are the things, they are not something which are there, but white spaces, try to avoid them. Obviously don't add pictures. I've seen people and the two columns, that is not at all being passed. Photographs, LinkedIn, make sure that your links, whatever you're writing, they're clickable. And a lot of people I've seen lately, they started adding scanning link in their resume. I don't know why they started, but they started. So the thing is, like, ATS won't, like, there's no ATS till now who can do like pass or make sure that they use that scanning thing. So you're wasting your space. It's not like it won't reject your resume, but it won't parse that scanning thing. So you're wasting your space with that, using that. There's no point of having it. But otherwise, commas and all, it's not like what can I say, rejection criteria in your resume.
Good to know. Good to know. Another question kind of about crafting your resume. If you have, for example, Gina has 3 degrees and multiple years of experience. She's transitioning into data science, but she's saying that one page doesn't give me enough space while also being readable. Any thoughts on that?
So a lot of people face this issue. And as I said that, so one thing is very, and I've shared this a number of times on my LinkedIn. Personally, the reason why I shared it is, like, if you have 7 to 8 years, less than 7 to 8 years of experience, your resume should not exceed one page. If your resume is exceeding one page, you need to make sure it's in one page. And that's where the FAANGPath comes in. FAANGPath can tell you what should be added, because I've seen people writing different things which are not needed. So make sure that if you want, we can help you. But on the same hand, if you have less than 7 to 8 years of experience, you need to have one page. If you have PhD or a researcher or any of those, then you can exceed one page. Then it's fine, because obviously you have research paper and an n number of things. So then in your case, we give you option to exceed it. But if you are a normal degree person, holder person, don't exceed one page.
Absolutely. Great advice. We had 2 duplicate questions. Should you link your resume in PDF or link your resume to your LinkedIn profile? Is it
Yeah,
necessary?
as I said that it's fine, you can add it, and it will be clickable.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another question about internships at FAANG companies. Do you know if there's an internship season, or do they hire interns all year long? Transitioning into data science, just finished a boot camp, curious about
Yeah,
that.
so yeah, for the timeline and all, you need to check their career website. Different companies have their different season, or what can I say, different areas when you can, they need to, they select the interns. So as far as I know, if they're taking directly from universities, they do have like a season, or what can I say, different months in which they hire. But otherwise, if they are doing some other offline internship hiring, you can even check their website and you can do that. So I think it's the right time you can apply, because this is the summertime and internships are hiring or something, because you are not going through a university. So you need to check through their website, and you can also network through recruiters and the hiring manager from these FAANG companies, and they can also update you.
Good point. Good point. So we have 3 more questions. Appreciate everyone's questions tonight. Very engaged attendance. So
Yep.
thank you so much. Another question came in. Do you recommend changing up your resume for each job you apply to? For example, should you have a few different resumes that are for different types of companies or positions? Should you personalize each resume?
This question, I think I should have taken long back, and the reason is I can see a lot of people like left the thing. So the reason why I want to tell this, and this is really important, the reason is that this is a small request from whoever is listening to me today, is like, please don't apply with one resume to n number of different jobs. I have seen people doing it, and I don't know why they do it. So if, for example, I'm taking my domain example just to make sure that everyone understands. So I am a data analyst, sorry, not scientist, data analyst. And with my resume, if I'm applying to data engineer, data scientist, data analyst, what can I say? Okay, let's take three jobs. For example, data scientist, data engineer, and data analyst. It's completely wrong. People understand that if you apply with one resume to 3 different jobs, it's totally wrong. Please don't do that mistake again and again. You won't get a call from any of these roles. make sure, and also they are very three different roles, so you need to understand that what your profile will have the best, like what is your target role. Because I've seen people on LinkedIn also, they add, like in the open to work, they add n number of different profiles, and I'm like, how can you target n different profiles which are very unrelated with the same profile? And do you really have those expertise? And also, one role is BA engineer or BA analyst, so how can you have an expertise with all these roles? These roles are very different from each other, they have different experience, they need different skills, and they need different experience. So how can you target with the same profile? So don't apply, and also make sure that you are very well aware, you have read n number of times through the job description, and you understand what you're applying for. Because sometimes I personally feel that people just apply because they're desperate to get a job. I understand that, but on the same hand, if you're doing it, you will still start getting same type of rejection. So you need to make sure that you understand what type of role you're targeting, and you just keep track of those kind of roles. Not like you're just taking one page of resume and you're replying to n number of jobs, and then people say that we get rejections, because obviously you will get rejection.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very important to remember. We have another question. If someone wants to shift from India to the US without having a master's degree from the US, but has different work experience in India, how do you get a call from a recruiter?
Yeah, so the thing is that directly it's not easy to get transfer or directly get a job from India. So and from any other country, because of the visa issues, sponsorship, and everything. Try to work in any of these FAANG or big tech companies in India for a few years and take a transfer from there. If you really want to if you don't want to go through masters, if you don't want to spend money, you can do that, and that's an easy way to get a what can I say, job in US over, because I've seen so many people in Amazon and in these companies, they work in India for a few years and then they get a transfer to US. But otherwise it's very difficult, because H1B sponsorship should be required, and that's not easy, and companies don't tend to give that to people who are outside in US.
It's good advice. And another kind of current question, what is the best way to explain the lack of work due to COVID?
Yeah. You can just say, like, I mean, you can explain or you can filter it out with your personal projects, personal things, and try to do some internships or freelancing. And as I said, that I can give some website names like Fever, Upwork, and also go to YC Combinator. They are startups. All the startups are there. They list their internships. And also one important thing, that FAANGPath is also hiring freelancers or what can I say, freelancers or interns or part-time. So if you're looking any paid work, which is like a part-time work, and you want to kind of work with FAANGPath, I'm more than happy to conduct an interview. So these kind of startups you can join, and you can cover up the work, and you can say that though I was not working as a full-time, but I was still working as a freelancer, part-time, or anything, and project basis, and these are my work.
Great question and good answer as well. And at this time, we're going to pretty much end our Q&A. We have one question left. If you have any other questions, we recommend that you do reach out to Nikita directly as we're running a little over time.
Yeah, I can see questions coming on and on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take our last question from Gina. Do you know, if anything, companies offer internships or apprenticeships for experienced hires, or are internships really just reserved for current students or recent grads?
No, I think I don't agree. I mean, they do kind of give internships to people with experience level, but the thing is, you need to go through the job description. If they have specifically mentioned that these are only for the recent grads or the people who just graduated, there's no point of applying, because obviously they have mentioned it. So just try to read through the job description, and don't apply because they have already mentioned that it's not meant for people with experience level. It's just for the recent grads, but they do have internships for experienced people, but you need to kind of go through their other internships.
Absolutely. Great advice. Again, if anyone has any further questions, Nikita, what's the best way to reach out to you?
I mean, I shared my LinkedIn, but I think because so many people.
I actually just pushed it to the bottom of the chat. So if that's the best way.
I can just put it there.
Okay.
And yeah, and even FAANGPath website and Discord channel link I can share, Instagram, and also that everyone can reach out. I know a lot of people have so many questions. I'm more than happy to connect and help in whatever way I can. You can check out our website. We have 40+ FAANG mentors working with us today. and we have helped so many candidates, as I mentioned. So if you want to reach out or take any help, any guidance, I'm more than happy to answer or help.
Absolutely. Well, a big thank you, everyone who's still on. Please welcome me in saying thank you to Nikita for her time tonight and answering all of our questions and also teaching us how to get our resumes to that next step, as well as LinkedIn to get that first phone call. So thank you, everyone. Again, happy Mother's Day to any mothers on the call, and have a good rest of your evening. And thank you on behalf of Women Who Code for being here and sharing everything with our community.
Thank you everyone for joining, listening to me so patiently, and thanks a lot, Mary, for having this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. All right, everyone have a good evening. Thank you again.
Bye.